A prompt is just what you type to Claude, and the quality of its output is driven far more by the quality of your prompt than by which model tier you're using. A clear prompt to a mid-tier model regularly beats a vague prompt to the best model available. Vague requests get vague answers. Compare "write something about our product launch" to a version that specifies length, audience, tone, format, and required content. Say, a 150-word internal Slack announcement. Non-technical audience, upbeat but not hyped, including the product name and one key benefit. Claude can't read your mind about unstated constraints. If you care about it, say it. Claude produces better output when it understands why you're asking, not just what you're asking for. Write a follow-up email is weaker than write a follow-up email to a prospect who went quiet after a demo 2 weeks ago. The goal is to reopen the conversation without sounding pushy. The second version lets Claude make dozens of small, good judgment calls about tone, length, and emphasis that the first version leaves entirely to chance. When you have a specific format or style in mind, showing an example is often more effective than describing it. If you want product descriptions in a particular voice, paste 1 or 2 examples and say write 3 more in this exact style. This is called few-shot prompting, and it dramatically narrows the range of plausible outputs Claude will consider. Telling Claude you are an experienced grant writer or respond as a skeptical editor reviewing this draft can shift its tone, vocabulary, and what it chooses to focus on. Use this when the lens matters. A legal reviewer and a marketing writer would flag different things in the same paragraph. Don't overuse it, though. For straightforward factual or analytical tasks, a role adds little. Treat the first response as a draft to refine, not a final answer to accept or reject. Effective follow-ups look like, make this 30% shorter and cut the second paragraph, or this is too formal, rewrite it for a casual internal audience. Because Claude sees the whole conversation, it uses your first output as the base for revision rather than starting over, which is usually faster than trying to write the perfect prompt from scratch. If a task has several distinct stages, research, then outline, then draft, then edit, you'll generally get better results walking through it as a conversation than asking for everything in one giant prompt. This gives you a chance to correct course early. If the outline is wrong, fixing it before the full draft is written saves a lot of rework. Negative constraints are useful and often overlooked. Don't use bullet points. Avoid corporate jargon like synergy or leverage. Don't include a call to action. This is informational only. These are just as valid as positive instructions, and often the difference between a usable draft and one you have to heavily edit. If you're not sure what details matter, try. Before you draft this, ask me any clarifying questions you need. This is especially useful for ambiguous or high-stakes writing, where a wrong assumption costs more than the extra round trip. Take a real task you'd normally do this week, an email, a summary, a plan. Write the weak version of the prompt first and run it. Then rewrite it applying at least 3 techniques from this chapter: specificity, context, examples, role, or negative constraints, and compare the 2 outputs side by side. To recap, prompt quality usually matters more than model choice. Specify length, audience, tone, and format explicitly. Give the why behind a request, not just the what. Show examples when format or voice matters, and assign a role when the lens of review matters. Treat responses as drafts to iterate on, and break multi-stage work into steps. Finally, state what to avoid, not just what to include, and invite clarifying questions on ambiguous tasks.